Check out the Amazon UK and US app stores where you can purchase coins to spend in Guns of Glory. If you follow my links in the description, you'll gain access to my limited offer to purchase 50,000 Amazon coins for £250 or $250 US. This is an amazing 50% off. This offer is available until the 31st of March. I've also made a video which is sponsored by the Amazon UK App Store showing how to download the app onto your Android device, purchase coins using an in-game, and of course how to claim my limited offer by following the links in the description below. I'll also put a link to my video explaining how to do all of this down in the description, so make sure you take advantage of this great offer. Thank you very much for sitting through my ad, and I have to say that this video is sponsored by the Amazon App Store. So check out that deal if you guys get a chance, and if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's get to it. So welcome back to another rendition of Disappointing Turtle. I'm Creed, and this week Guns of Glory released their Q&A onto their website. So we're going to be having a look at that, and I'm going to be giving my opinion on some of the things and probably adding in a couple of other things that I thought should have been mentioned as well. So buckle in, enjoy. So let's just have a little look at the first question here. Nice quick one. Will you fix the requirement of being in an alliance for 24 to 48 hours before being able to participate in events? And Guns of Glory have said the reason why the joining time is required to prevent players from switching between different alliances is to obtain rewards. Adjusting this part of the function may involve that player experiencing more issues, therefore at present there is currently no suitable solution. So essentially what they're saying is no, they're not going to change that, because otherwise you will literally just go to 24 different alliances and claim all of the rewards, which I do actually think is fair enough. There does have to be some sort of boundaries, right? Yes, it is annoying. It does wind me up sometimes, especially if, and this is just an example, but if we leave for KVK on the Saturday, we run gates on the Monday. So either we have to leave KVK to give us that 48-hour slot, or we have to forfeit gates. I know a lot of people are like, oh, gates, but when you're a small castle and you're still growing, you might be in a new kingdom, you really need those rewards, even the shit ones, because it all helps build the castle up, and everybody knows what a struggle it is in the sort of early days, even though Guns of Glory have made it much, much easier to grow a lot faster, and especially as a free player. So let's have a little look at the second question that was posed to them. When will the option for Queen be available? And they have said, we will consider to optimise this in the future. As far as all the bugs and stuff go in the game, I'm not convinced that having a Queen title is necessarily important. Maybe it is to some people, I don't know. Even when I'm Queen, I call myself King, so it makes no difference to me. You are the leader of the kingdom. They could just change it to that, and then the profile kind of fits everybody, or is that a step too far? Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? I think there's a lot more important things that they could be doing. Okay, so on the third question, I think this one's a bit more important, and I think this is one that people have been asking for a really long time now. But kingdom migration is something that definitely needs to be considered. How much should we wait until the merger will happen? I think that should be how long, but yeah, good question. And they have said, in previous player surveys, many players have mentioned that they are worried that new players who join a kingdom might cause a negative impact on existing players, as kingdom merge will affect many players in different situations, but we are currently designing a new large-scale gameplay. But as the design phase has just started, it will take some time before it's been developed. Okay, I think that's pretty fair enough. My 433 kingdom is very, very peaceful. My 592 kingdom, not so much. So, it would definitely upset me if a load of people from discombobulated, for want of a word, kingdom turned up in mine and just started causing chaos. And I know that it would upset other people in my kingdom as well, probably all of them, because we've all worked really, really hard to create the dynamic that we have now. And it's taken nearly a year and a half to where we've got. So to have that kind of undone in the blink of an eye would be a bit of a shame. A positive to that might be that it would make the game a little bit less boring because you'll have more situations to contend with. But ultimately, it is supposed to be a war game, so the kind of political drama that comes with it is not really something that I'm looking to seek. And I think it can work the same the other way as well. You might have people that are used to being in a peaceful kingdom go to another kingdom that doesn't necessarily have very many rules, and they might start to impose stuff, and that kingdom might not like that very much either. So I do think that they're really, really good things to consider. Definitely. And from what they're saying, I think even if anything like that were to come around anytime soon, it's months and months and months away. It takes a really long time to develop these things. If you if you guys knew how long it even took just to make one of my videos, for example, it's really long amount of time, and these developers are literally doing everything from scratch. So we do have to give them a little bit of credit and leeway. I think we're too hard on them. Okay, question 3. So the hero store seriously needs updating. It's almost empty. When will you consider to update the hero store? So they have said we will consider optimizing this in the future, and we're working to update them in the near future. So that's a bit of a non-answer. We will do it, but we have no idea when. It's not in the pipeline yet, basically, is what I'm reading into that. So we will just have to see what happens. It would be nice to have that. Again, I'm not sure it's necessarily a priority, but I can understand why people would want that part of the game to be a little bit more functional. Because it isn't at the moment, not really. I don't use it. I never have. Don't need to. I get everything free in the game that I might need that's in there. Maybe ports, but that's Alliance Store, so yeah. We'll look at question 4. So, is there any way of making event matchups more equal for KVK, UAC, and Blood Wars? They have said the matching at KVK is undergoing adjustments and is expected to be updated in January. UAC will determine the future plan based on the effects of KVK adjustments. We're undergoing relatively large adjustments and upgrades for Blood Wars, so stay tuned. Okay, so all of that sounds quite positive and quite exciting. I know one of the things that people get really upset about is the matchups for, well, pretty much all of the events. Some of them can seem really unfair. Nobody actually seems to know what the matchups are based on. Everybody has a different theory. Whether it's win-loss, power. I think it's a combination. But I don't know. I'm not sure anybody does. I need a mod to tell me. But it does need sorting. We come up against some beasts in KVK probably about 6 weeks back now. And I think we filled our towers and our palace. We were there for about 10 minutes, and we knew that we were not going to be getting anywhere. So we all went back, and actually, do you know what? It was quite nice because we all got a day off, and we quite enjoyed it. Nobody was pissed off that we'd lost the crown. I think when you do win all the time, you don't mind the odd loss. Or maybe that's just me. Wasn't phased by it. I would have rather kept my troops and known essentially that I was going to lose and just be able to take that loss and walk away rather than trying to fight losing all of my troops and all the other players in my kingdom as well, who would have really fought hard for that. So sometimes it is a fruitless effort and you just have to know when to stop. But then on the other hand, we've taken like 3 kingdoms. So it does kind of show that there is a bit of imbalance in there, because you shouldn't be able to take 3 kingdoms and then the following week not even be able to keep your own. I think that is a huge difference in power number there, to be able to kind of have 2 completely different parallels. But that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that we should be winning all the time or that we should be losing all the time, but you would like to see a little bit more of a good ratio, potentially. So, next question. When will you increase the Lord level? And they're saying in version 6.2. So that is probably the first proper answer that they have given us. But that's good, because that is a resolution. Somebody's asked the question, they've been given an answer, so that's fine. We can live with that. We do need higher Lord level. You can see on mine I'm still only 62, but it won't be long. I really messed the game up, like, in the first 6 months. I don't know if it's because I didn't know what I was doing, or if I had just forgotten things that I should have been doing. But basically, I wasn't buying anything from the Spirit Mines for a really long time. I was pushing creation and doing all of that, and I was doing all the events and stuff, but I was not getting the extra loot that I should have been. So, compared to other people in my lines and my kingdom, I am quite far behind, although I'm catching up quite quickly, because I started, when I realised what I'd done, dumb move as well, I started really pushing all of that stuff. I realised that I needed to. It was quite important. Obviously, you know. Right, next question. So, give us the ability to empty our unwanted and expired items in the inventory. The event for recycling expired items will be launched for the first time in January, so stay tuned. This is quite an exciting one, right? Yeah, I want to know what they're going to do with this, because I have got a ton of stuff. Let's just have a little... I will show you. They did do quite recently, you could clear some stuff out, so that was not too bad. I did clear a few bits out, but there's still a lot in here. So, what have I got? I've got some coupons, I've got some parchment, I've got some knives. I mean, all of this stuff here. Oh no, not my wolf coins. I need those. Candy canes are for this one. I think I might have even had some of those left over from last year, you know. But, baubles. There is all sorts of bits and bobs that I... Yeah, they need to go. It's just clutter, really. And there is something else that really bugs the crap out of me. Crests in creation. I've gone onto the wrong tab. Let's hope that doesn't load. Oh, it did. Right. Let me just show you. And I'm sure you guys literally all have this problem as well. But basically, I'm still winning crests, but I can't do anything with them. Everything is maxed on all of them. But I have so many crests, and obviously... Oh, let's give that a little enhance. Oh, maybe we will not. And I don't know what to do with my other crests. What can you do with them? Is there anything that you can do with them? Or do I just keep collecting them for all of eternity now? So they need to either start putting in more levels of crests on creation, or they need to put in a way where you can trade them in. I mean, to be honest, at this point, I'd probably be quite happy with wood. Like, genuinely. Because they're just there. Every day I collect them. Every day I go on creation. I do it 3 times a day. That's a lot of crests. So, I would like to see something in there to be able to get rid of those. Ooh, okay. Being able to reset the guards would be great. The function of guard reset is not considered for the time being, but we're considering the star reset of guards. Okay, well, that's fair enough. I would be happy with a star reset. I think... I mean, like, I don't need these cards anymore, particularly. And they're obviously all 5-star. They've been replaced now, so yeah, it'd probably be quite nice to reset that because I don't need them. I understand why they don't want to do a guard reset, but they seriously need to do something about the drop rate. Like, it's absolutely dire. I don't think I've actually got a gold card in about 4 months, which is a really long time. And I save all of my S-Guard recruits as well for the main event. So every main event, I use them all. They all get used, and I save them from Wolf. They
they stay in my bag until I need them, and then I just use them all. So it's not like I'm not using enough recruits to get gold ones, because I know obviously the percentage is really low, but I'm surpassing that a lot, all in one go as well. So I do find that a little bit frustrating. Aha, right. So, will you change anything about guard recruitment? 5% for rare guards is very little, and of those 5%, we get guards that we have already maxed. Sorry, that sentence just didn't make any sense in my brain then. There is currently no plan to change the probability of guard recruitment. However, we will continue to improve and find other ways to obtain guards in the future. Okay. Well, I'm not sure they know what they're up to with that. Maybe they have like a couple of plans, or they might be wanting to do, you know, like we just had that little mini event to get the 2 new guards. Maybe they're planning on doing something like that a little bit more regularly. I was not actually very impressed with that. The timing that they did it was absolutely diabolical. They did it right in the middle of a main event. Those tickets should have been used for the main event. I should have been able to have got tickets for that, not resources and crap that I didn't need. I didn't appreciate that personally. I know some of you were quite happy with it because you obviously got the new guard. I didn't get the new guard because I refused to do it. It's literally as simple as that. I think I did like 3, and then I realised what I'd done. So that I found that really frustrating, and I thought it was a little bit of an underhanded tactic because there was no warning either. So everybody logged on at reset in the morning, or the evening, wherever you are in the world, but they logged on at reset to go in there and get their tickets for the day, and everybody jumped in head first because it was in the middle of an event. Everything that's in that tab, if it is not carnival, it should be part of that event. It's literally as simple as that. So they all went in there, used all of their guard recruits, and then were really upset that they hadn't gone towards their point score. And I kind of get that. I was pretty annoyed. I think if they were going to do that in the future, they need to not clash. Or if they're going to do that, they need to come up with something else, because at the moment, these main events are getting thinner and thinner anyway. The reason why I say that, so essentially what we're doing is like 3 days out of the 7, well, 6, are the same thing. Well, we don't necessarily have 3 days worth of all that stuff. If you get guard weapon score 3 days out of 6, you're not going to be able to. I feel like it's a little bit of a way of doing us over a little bit. It's almost an impossible task unless you spend. Yes, obviously you invest the tickets that you've got back in so that you can do extra upgrades and all of that sort of stuff. But if you're having to do that 3 times for one thing, then you're having to invest more rather than being able to put it where you might need it. For me personally, mine is guard weapons. My guard weapons is absolutely atrocious. I'll show you what I've got going on just because it is a little bit appalling. So I have no new ones at the moment. I'm getting there. I'm getting a little bit closer. It's taken a really long time to pick up these scrolls for me because I am a free player, and that's fine. I'm happy with things taking time. I don't want to rush anything, but I should have been investing in these in my last one, and I couldn't because I was having to stick it all somewhere else. Okay, next one. Why didn't you provide the chance to above 35 level 50% concession in upgradation? Right, I'm just going to put that into English. So basically what they're asking is in the main event, they want a 50% resource buff for the upgrades, like what you get for under 30s. And Gog have said, lowering the cost of upgrading castles for players below level 35 is mainly for low-level players to catch up with advanced players in the game. As we have recently released Castle 41 to 45, we're not considering changing this at this point. To be honest with you, I think that's fair enough. We've only just got the castle upgrades. They're not just gonna hand you the castle. I think this becomes a little bit of a running theme with Guns of Glory that literally everybody wants everything right there and then. In every single game that you play, you have to put the work in to get the results. It doesn't matter if you're playing Tetris, you still have to move the shapes round. If you don't, you lose. It doesn't matter what game you're playing. You have to put the legwork in, and this game is no different. So I do think that some people's expectations are possibly a little bit unrealistic. I don't think that we're ever gonna just have everything handed to us on a plate with Guns of Glory. It is a business at the end of the day. It costs a lot of money to develop a game. So, you know, they do need to try and make some money, and to just give us stuff, it is not the Guns of Glory way. I think we all know that by now. Next question. So, with updates every 2 weeks, this game is calling for more and more memory. Is there anything you can do to lower how much memory space this game now requires? And they have said, we are aware that the game requires more memory due to the art quality and new content. At this point, there is currently no solution to this issue, but rest assured that we will continue to look for ways to optimize this. Okay, so this is something that I actually do have a little bit of first-hand experience with. Very, very recently, literally like last week, I had to delete the game off of my phone because I could not do the update. The phone was taking up nearly 12 gig of data on my mobile device. I have got an external memory card in there, but obviously I use my phone quite a lot for making these videos, so I do have quite a lot of things on there. My memory card is basically full of work, not necessarily just apps and all of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I couldn't do the update, which meant that I basically couldn't do the event. I very, very reluctantly deleted it off of my phone, and it instantly took off 11.5 gig it was. And then when I completely bollocks that up because I wasn't concentrating. When I reinstalled the game, it went down to like 3.5 gig, and I have been checking it, and it's slightly gone up as I accessed other accounts and stuff, but not by very much. So I think what I'm just going to do now is basically every time there's an update, I'm just going to uninstall the game entirely and reinstall it, because it seems to clear the cache and all of that sort of stuff, which I do manually, and I'm sure a lot of you do, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. There's certain things that it doesn't want me to delete. I don't know why, because anytime I have ever uninstalled the game, I've never lost anything within the game. So that is just something to bear in mind, that if you guys are struggling because of the size of the game, then just uninstall it and reinstall it again, and you'll have a little bit of memory back. Or in my case, I think by the time I'd reinstalled it, I had like 9 gig or 8.5 gig, something like that, extra than what I did previous, so can't go wrong. Are you going to increase the hospital capacity equivalent to the highest March capacity available? The upper limit of the level of technology related to hospital capacity has been increased in the period when version 6.0 was launched. Okay, so that is definitely something that I missed. I wasn't aware of that. Yeah, it is what it is. I think the trick to some of this stuff actually is sending smaller marches. I'm never ever gonna send a 600k march, because I don't want to lose 600k troops. It's as simple as that. I think it's down to you as an individual. Make sure that you've got the maximum amount of hospitals you can have. Make sure that they are maxed out to their full capacity, and also make sure that all your research is done on there. And also, just in case you missed it, there was some extra hospital cap researchers put on there as well, so maybe that's what came in with that 6.0. Very potential. Why am I all the way down there? Potentially that's what they're referring to, in which case I did see that. Oh, it doesn't like this for a moment. Yeah, I think there was like an extra 20 stages of research, so go back and have a look at that if you haven't already. Right, with new items coming about coming out just about every month or two. How are you going to rebalance rewards as new items are released? Many rewards are several tiers behind. Recently, we've been updating some rewards to help fit in the direction that the game has evolved in. We will continue to gradually update rewards from various events. I think that they've been doing quite a good job with this, to be honest. They have been updating rewards. It is noticeable. And as I said earlier on in the video, in regards to another question, I think one of the things that we do wrong in the game is that we expect everything to be handed to us straight away. I think we forget that we need to actually grind and do the work for it. We can't expect to have a new release and just have it within a couple of days without spending the money to do so. I think it's really high expectations to think that we should. I know some people probably don't think that that's very fair because then it's favouring the spender, but then there is a chance for free players to get stuff. It just takes a little bit longer. What is the plan for free players to obtain new elixir in enough quantity to actually obtain the new gear? New high-level threats will have the chance to drop new items, and there will be other ways in the future where you will have a chance to obtain it. The new threat drop rates are absolutely diabolical. I think in all of the ones that I've hit, I've got one Bloodtooth elixir. I don't expect to get thousands, but you do lose a lot of troops unless you're like a billion power player, which I am not. You can see that. My power always stays quite low because I have a tendency of killing myself in KVK. So I'm just constantly chasing my tail. I'm sure quite a lot of you are as well. So yeah, when I hit those high level ones, well, let's show you. Let's have a little look-see. Right, oh god. Let's go to level 55. Right, I'm going to send as much as I can. Right, that's full. March on that. We'll have a look and see how many die in a minute. I'll just make sure that my hospital's empty before I hit. So I think it's just obviously taking that into account as well. Oh, there we go. Yeah, now it has. So 1 hour 16 of healing to hit that threat. So that's quite a lot, really. Give them some food. I never have food open because your troops eat it. But I'm sure you all know that. Okay, let's have a look at the next question. I think we're nearly there now, guys, so bear with me. Why hasn't the goods exchange been updated with large amounts to trade? Why can't we trade speed-ups or badges? So this feature has entered our optimization list, but it will take some time for overall optimization. So again, this is like another kind of non-answer, I suppose. So it's on their radar, but they're not sure what they're going to do with it yet. It would be really nice to be able to send speeds. Obviously, those of you that do take part in KVK will know that it's usually the big hitters that end up losing a lot of troops. I mean, I've got one player down 1 billion power still, even after troop training and all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it can be a bit of a pain. I would like to be able to send them speed ups. I have thousands. Even though I lose all of my troops, I don't necessarily always have enough resources to replace them all. So it might take me a bit longer, whereas I can send the speed ups to somebody else who's really going to benefit from them. So I think that's a nice idea. I hope it's something that they do put in. The envelopes that you can get, 1, are really expensive, but 2, are just really naff. To send somebody 1 speed up is just literally completely pointless. It doesn't help them. It doesn't help anybody. 1 speed up is useless. Last one. So, will Tides of Darkness come back? The Tides of Darkness event is temporarily unavailable due to the impact of the recent big map adjustments. We will resolve these issues as soon as possible and reopen. Okay, so that's probably quite a big one for everybody. I know lots of people have been wondering where Blood Wars went. Personally for me, I was glad that it went. I wasn't really very keen on the event. Purely because I'm from a nap kingdom. So the way that we were doing the event was very constructed. It didn't really leave room for anybody to win or lose. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't find it very fun. I think if you're in a non-nap kingdom, then it's probably more fun. I would like to be able to play the event properly, and yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. If they bring it back, they bring it back. Fine, we'll play it. We're not going to complain about it. I think a lot of people really disliked that one, though. I know KOA, when they got their higher level castles, they had a new event come in that was very, very similar to Blood Wars, but it was a lot bigger. So I'm wondering if that's the lines that Guns of Glory are going to go down. I really hope it is. I think that Blood Wars itself was not necessarily a successful event. And mainly you're just wasting ports, pretty much. Just running around like a crazy person, wasting ports to not get very good rewards. Again, it comes back to not having good rewards, doesn't it? So we will see. We will see what they do with that. Obviously, if they're saying that it's going to come back, they're probably not planning on actually changing the event as such, which is a shame. Obviously, just rescaling to fit in with the new maps and whatever else. So we will just have to see what happens with that. And fingers crossed that it's a little bit better. If it's not, it's not. It is what it is. Can't do anything about it, I guess. It's a bit like Night Siege, where people don't really like the event. It can be fun sometimes. We do make a little bit of a farcical out of it, so that always goes down quite well. But yeah, Blood Wars is an absolute sham at the moment. You can't play it at all. It's absolutely unplayable. So out of everything, even though it's not the best event, like, I think I'd quite like to see that get fixed or have some sort of change up, because it is just terrible at the moment. It's not much fun to play when you can't see the monsters or see how many people are in the forts. We did come up with a couple of little secret ways of being able to tell what was where, though, and I might do a video on that if that's something that you guys would want to know. How to basically play Night Siege blind. So that's fun. Anyway, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. I really, really appreciate all of your support. And don't forget to check out that deal with the Amazon App Store. I think it's a great deal. I wouldn't give you guys a deal that I didn't fully support. So, yep, check that out. If you don't remember, go back and have a look at my ad. And don't forget to check out my video on how to actually install the app, buy coins, how to use them in-game, and the different offers that you can get on there as well. Thank you very much. Have a lovely, lovely day, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe.